$1.87. That was all. Just a handful of coins, each one representing a small sacrifice, a skipped meal or a foregone comfort. Tears welled up in her eyes, a mixture of frustration and sadness. She had tried so hard to save more, but life had a way of making it difficult. It was Christmas Eve, and she barely had enough to buy Jim, her beloved husband, a gift. The thought of not being able to give him something special broke her heart. Della and Jim lived in a small flat. They didn't have much money. Their home was modest, with just the essentials, but it was filled with love and warmth. But their love for each other was immense. It was the kind of love that made every hardship bearable, every struggle worth it. Della wanted desperately to give Jim something special, something that showed how much she cared. She thought about all the times Jim had gone out of his way to make her happy. She looked around their modest home. It was simply furnished, but it held their love and their dreams. Every corner of the room had a memory, a moment they had shared. A single tear fell from her cheek onto the worn rug below. It was a tear of both sorrow and determination. Della knew she had to do something drastic. She had to find a way to get more money. She couldn't let this Christmas pass without showing Jim how much he meant to her. Jim deserved a wonderful gift, and she was determined to find a way. She thought about selling her long, beautiful hair, the one thing she had of value. It was a tough decision, but for Jim, she would do anything. She stood in front of the mirror, touching her hair, imagining what it would be like to part with it. It was a sacrifice she was willing to make for the man she loved. With a deep breath, she made up her mind. She would sell her hair and buy Jim the perfect gift. It was a decision born out of love and the desire to make him happy. She walked out of their apartment with determination, heading to the shop that bought hair. It was a small sacrifice for the immense love she had for Jim. As she handed over her hair and received the money, she felt a sense of relief. She could now buy Jim a gift that would show him just how much he meant to her. With the money in hand, she went to the store and bought the perfect gift for Jim. Her heart was filled with joy, knowing that she had done something special for the man she loved. She wrapped the gift with care, imagining the look on Jim's face when he opened it. It was a moment she'd been dreaming of, a moment that made all her sacrifices worth it. The flat was small, just a single room with a tiny kitchen. It wasn't much, but it was their home. Jim worked hard every day, and Della tried to make their home warm and welcoming. They had known better times when money wasn't so tight. But even though things were difficult now, their love for each other remained strong. One was Jim's gold watch, a family heirloom that had been passed down to him. The other was her own long, beautiful hair. Looking at her reflection in the window, Della made a decision. She knew what she had to do. Della's heart ached at the thought of parting with her hair. It was her most prized possession, something Jim always admired. But she knew she had to make a sacrifice. She loved Jim more than anything in the world. He was kind, gentle, and he worked tirelessly to provide for them. He deserved a special gift, something that came from her heart. She put on her old hat and coat and left the flat. The cold winter air stung her cheeks, but she didn't mind. She had a purpose now, a mission to find the perfect gift for Jim. As she walked, Della thought about Jim's face when he would open his gift. The thought of his happiness warmed her heart and gave her strength. Della's hair was like a silken waterfall, cascading down her back. It was the envy of many, and Jim loved to watch it shimmer in the sunlight. She had always taken pride in her hair, but Jim's happiness meant more to her than anything else. She knew he would understand. With a heavy heart, Della stopped in front of a sign that read, "Hair Goods." She took a deep breath and entered the shop. "It's such beautiful hair. Are you sure?" Della nodded, her resolve firm. The woman inside was surprised to see Della wanting to sell her hair. With the money from her hair, Della went searching for Jim's gift. She wanted to find something special, something that he truly needed and would cherish. After hours of searching, she found it. It was a beautiful platinum chain for Jim's watch. The watch was old and worn, but the chain was new and elegant. Della knew it was perfect. It would complement Jim's watch beautifully and show him how much she cared. She imagined him clutching the precious gift in her hand. Della hurried home. She couldn't wait to see the look on Jim's face when he opened it. Della rushed to get ready before Jim got home. She curled her remaining hair and put on her prettiest blouse. She wanted to look her best for him. When she heard Jim's footsteps outside the door, her heart skipped a beat. She took a deep breath and put on her brightest smile. Jim walked in, his face tired but happy to see her. But his smile faded when he saw Della's short, chopped hair. He stood there, speechless, staring at her. Della's heart sank. She could tell he was shocked. "Jim," she said, her voice trembling, "don't you like it? I did it for you." "Della, your hair is beautiful, but it doesn't matter. I love you." He pulled a small package out of his pocket and handed it to her. "Merry Christmas, Della." Della's hands trembled as she unwrapped the gift. Inside was a set of beautiful combs, the ones she had admired for so long in a shop window. "Oh, Jim, they're beautiful, but—" She hesitated, then confessed that she had sold her hair to buy him a gift. Jim laughed, a warm, loving laugh that echoed through their modest home, filling it with a sense of joy and contentment. He pulled Della close and kissed her tenderly, their love palpable in the air, a silent testament to their deep bond. "It's okay, Della. I sold my watch to buy your combs. I couldn't bear the thought of you not having them, knowing how much you wanted." They both laughed then, tears of joy streaming down their faces, mingling with the laughter that spoke of their unbreakable connection and shared sacrifices. In that moment, surrounded by their simple gifts and their immense love, they understood the true meaning of Christmas. It wasn't about the material things, but about the love and thought behind each gesture. The gifts they had bought for each other might have seemed foolish to some, mere trinkets in the eyes of the world. But to Della and Jim, they were priceless treasures, symbols of their willingness to sacrifice for one another. They represented their love, their sacrifice, and their willingness to give up something precious for each other. Each gift was a piece of their heart, a token of their unwavering devotion. In that way, Della and Jim were like the wise men, the Magi, who brought gifts to the baby Jesus. Their actions mirrored the spirit of the Magi, who gave not out of obligation but out of love and reverence. Their gifts weren't about material value, but about love, devotion, and the spirit of giving. They had given each other the most precious gift of all, the assurance that their love was more valuable than any worldly possession. In their humble home, they found the true essence of Christmas, a celebration of love, sacrifice, and the joy of giving from the heart. The story of Della and Jim reminds us that love is the greatest gift of all. It's a gift that can't be bought or sold, only given freely from the heart. Material possessions fade, but love endures. It's the one thing that can sustain us through difficult times and bring us true joy. Della and Jim might have been poor in material possessions, but they were rich in love. And in the end, that's all that truly mattered. Their story teaches us that the true value of a gift lies not in its price tag, but in the love, thoughtfulness, and sacrifice behind it. The Gift of the Magi is a timeless Christmas story that continues to resonate with readers of all ages. Written by O. Henry, this classic tale has touched the hearts of many with its simple yet profound message. It tells the story of a young couple, Della and Jim, who are deeply in love but financially struggling. It reminds us of the true spirit of Christmas, which is a spirit of love, generosity and compassion. The story beautifully illustrates how Della and Jim, despite their lack of material wealth, find ways to express their love for each other through selfless acts of giving. It's a story that teaches us that the best gifts come from the heart, not from a store. Della sells her long, beautiful hair to buy a platinum fob chain for Jim's prized pocket watch, while Jim sells his watch to buy combs for Della's hair. Their sacrifices highlight the depth of their love and the true meaning of giving, and that the greatest gift we can give to others is the gift of our love. This story encourages us to look beyond the material aspects of gift-giving and to focus on the emotional and spiritual connections we share with our loved ones. As we celebrate Christmas, let us remember the story of Della and Jim and the profound message it carries. Their story is a reminder that the value of a gift lies not in its price tag, but in the love and thoughtfulness behind it. Let us strive to give gifts that are meaningful and heartfelt, gifts that reflect the true spirit of Christmas. Whether it's a handmade present, a kind gesture, or simply spending quality time with someone, these are the gifts that truly matter. And most importantly, let us remember that the greatest gift of all is the gift of love. Love is the essence of Christmas, and it is through love that we can create lasting memories and strengthen our bonds with family and friends. For it is in giving and receiving love that we find true joy and happiness, not just at Christmas, but throughout the year. Let the spirit of Christmas inspire us to be more loving, generous and compassionate every day, and to cherish the moments we share with those we hold dear.